because I put it on YouTube, but just you guys can see it. So just the handy thing is it's only one login for each of you, and then the 3 companies are just underneath. Have you had a look at this yet, Dan?
No, I haven't, but I'm very keen to get up to speed, and that's why I was joining today. And the other one thing to say, Kevin, in advance is I was thinking about our last call and the idea of being able to upload invoices onto the system. I'd like to do that for Screenlink in particular, because whereas the other companies are quite well organized in terms of the invoices inwards, Screenlink is a bit of a different kettle of fish because it's left to me as opposed to Ailish or anybody else. So hence it's a bit more all over the place. So if we receive invoices in the post, the idea of being able to upload them onto QuickBooks appeals to me specifically for that company. So is that something we could do potentially here?
Yeah, it is. Now with smaller companies than Screenlink, I use their internal one.
But well, of course you can do it with QuickBooks as well, can't you? So
you can. It's not as slick as using Dex, which I like to use. You know, Dex, you program it, it recognizes, much more user friendly. But this ain't bad, you know. So I think we'll start with what's in QuickBooks, which is under banking and the receipts area here, and I'll actually show it to you in a minute, actually, because I have it on my phone. Oh no, actually I don't for you guys because it's a different accountant. But anyway, I'll show you in a second. Did you get the opportunity, either of you, to download the QuickBooks app while I have you?
No, I didn't, but I talked to Ailish, and I guess the only person who would need that would be me, because I don't think Ailish will need QuickBooks on her phone as such. She just was sitting, she would do the invoices and the banking and everything else her desktop role. So, but I'd quite like it just so I can see what's going on. Because I look at my phone regularly, so I can kind of, it'll be a big benefit to me. But I didn't download it, but I will do. I can even do it now while we're talking, if you want. So
and I'm just checking there. So I've invited you to this, Dan, but you haven't actually accepted the invite yet.
Yeah, because I didn't download. Oh, to what did you invite me to?
To the accountant edition of QuickBooks.
So would that be an email? Would it?
It would, yeah. And I'm actually going to resend it to you now. So it'll come in at the top of your list. Okay. And all on there, yeah. So that should be an email, and you set up your password.
Yeah, I'm going to get it now. Oh yeah, Hoban Family Businesses.
That's it.
Okay. So I just accepted that there now. Okay,
and so you're just watching the QuickBooks here. Actually, you can actually log in now. Actually, if you Google QuickBooks Ireland, or
so it's saying to me to sign in. So I sign in with my Screenlink email. I take it, do I?
Yes.
And password, I can try.
Whichever one you just. It probably asks you to set it up there now. Or if you try your Screenlink one, maybe. Yeah.
I'll try a few different ones, and then I might have to get a forgot password.
Yeah, I might just see if I got you in on Screenlink here.
Yeah, no, I don't have a password for that account. So will I email a code to set myself up?
Do. Yeah. So this one email into, like, we call it the umbrella QuickBooks, brings you into each of the other 3. Then you can just nip out, nip in. Okay, so. And if somebody has access to one and they shouldn't have access to the other, it's easy to exclude them from the ones they can't look at. Okay. Just while you're doing that, I know you've been entering stuff in on it, Ailish. Have you any immediate concerns or comments or questions?
I had a few. So obviously we use so we send invoices to Northern Ireland as well as the Republic, and I was wondering if there is a way to just have all the Northern Ireland that are default set to 0 VAT, because obviously you have to manually do it. And I mean, it's fine as long as you're kind of paying attention, but you know, it'd be just handy to default them to 0, so there's no kind of.
Yeah, it would. Quick answer is I'm not quite sure, but I think there is. All right, so we'll pick this Antrim one. We have a look at them.
Yeah.
Antrim area. more details. I'm just going to go into this edit area, have a glance.
It's still not letting me log in, Kevin. So it's just I don't have the password for my email.
Is that because you've forgotten your Screenlink password, is it? Or did it give you the opportunity?
We use the Screenlink one for like our Google one, is it?
I thought it might have asked you just to set it up when it said.
Yeah, so I must have an old email. Is all I can think of.
I think there was something about your email. So be nice to get that sorted while you're here anyway. But if you go forgot password, it might reset for you.
Yeah, I'll go back out of it actually, and then.
Yeah, do. You see there, as I see.
I'll accept the invitation and start again.
Yeah, not sure about that. All right, Ailish.
Okay.
It would be handy, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it can't be done, it's fine. We just obviously we'll go through it today and we'll just be aware of where you add in the VAT. And the other thing was when I'm printing out the invoices, you can see the billing address and the shipping address both in a window if I have to post them. So I tried to mess around with the template myself, but I couldn't quite figure out how to kind of move the shipping address out of the window, if I need to post any invoices.
Okay, just see there, it should be, see that a bit. So this is where you would have found yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
And so it'll be in content.
I
see them there, yeah. It's down here somewhere, shipping.
It was at the bottom, I think.
The shipping area.
You can probably take that mobile number off there, Kevin, that you just clicked on to, just so that doesn't show on an invoice. So, okay, so you can only have the billing address as opposed to having both, but not in the window. Is that right?
Yeah. So okay. What is it? You just want one in the window, not two, is it?
Yeah, so we're our old templates, we'd have both. We'd have a shipping address and then a bill to address, but only in the window would be the bill to address, because obviously when they get the invoice, it's good to see where it was delivered to.
Okay, let's see if I move that. Yeah, so that you'd like it out of the way. Is this
basically, yeah, just so it's, if we do need to post it, there's not like an address and then another half an address in the envelope, if that makes sense.
Yeah, let's see what I've got here. What we could do, there's always kind of a workaround. So
I mean, don't worry too much if you can't. We do have delivery notes with them. I just thought it'd be handy to have kind of the same information on the invoices.
Yeah, I'll think about that one. Custom fields. So I've done this type of thing a few times where we put in an extra field.
Yeah.
And it comes up somewhere else on it. So
okay.
Leave that one with me and I'll come back to you on that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll trick around with it. So just check. How'd that go for you, Dan?
I can't log in, so it's not letting me, because it doesn't say lost password. It asks for a code, which when I put it in, it just goes back to looking for a password. So I'm not sure what to do there, but I'll work away on that. Just don't let me interfere with the training.
Okay, I'll just go. But what I might just do quickly is delete and re-invite you.
Okay. I think what it is I have a historic account, obviously, haven't I, on my email?
You do. I think when I clicked it in, it told me that was your email. Yeah.
Yeah. So I must have just set something up at one point or other and not forgot my password. Usually it lets you reboot your password, but this isn't letting me.
Okay. Good. So I'm gonna just copy that before I delete it. Okay. Okay, so for you. Okay, so send you a new invite. You can try it in a little while, and we'll go from there. And what it does is it brings you into this Hoban family businesses. And then when you click on this guy, each of the companies are beneath that.
Great, yeah.
So, and it's just anyway, you don't. That's the way to do it for you guys. So I've kind of trimmed down the VAT and set up some of the chart of accounts and kind of organized some of the framework. So which of these companies do you want to start with? That's really my first question. You put stuff into Screenlink, I think already, Ailish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe we'll look at that one first. Anything that comes up there, we'll move to the second one, the third one, so on. So.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, I just a few questions. I was watching this during the week, but I said I'll wait till today. So these items here, antigen mailings, which you kind of need to explain to me, an on-post cervical check.
Yeah.
Are they bank accounts or are they expenses, or just what is that?
Yeah, let me just, so they're invoices that I put in for our on-post accounts, sorry.
Okay, so there were bills, yeah. So I did a glance at them. I might just move them around, check on that. So the antigens was one big figure at the start. That is that actually is that actually a real bill or 900?
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Okay. And those, okay, I obviously know what antigens are. So these, do you buy them and sell them? Is that what's going on, or is it?
We're distributing them for the HSE as part of the national pandemic response. So we're
okay. Very good. And then the second one, okay, what's the only, I just want to show you how easy it is to fix this. So they're put in as bank accounts as opposed to cost of sales or expenses, wherever you prefer putting it. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's happened here is when you did new and put in the name antigens and all that.
Yeah.
You just missed this thing here, account type.
Okay. Right? Okay.
And so if something you're buying and selling, it's generally a cost of sales.
And yeah.
Okay, so that's where it should be. Now, that type of thing will happen all the time, what you just did. So, you know, there's not a worry or anything. So what you do is you go into edit.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to do is we're not going to move anything. I'm just going to change cash down to cost of sales.
Okay.
Okay, and the supplies. Nothing changes here. Save and close. Gives you a bit of a warning. And then it moves it. All right. And it'll be the same with the other one.
I think that I saw 3 there that I must have done. I set up 3 accounts, so 3 on-post accounts. So that was 3. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
So I'll shift that now. And then I'm just going to show you around a little bit on the screen here. So and there's that one. I'll move that one over quickly. So, but you can't break the program is really what I'm really illustrating. So wherever you put stuff, it's quite easy to get it fixed up. And what we kind of say to everybody is if it looks wrong, it generally is wrong. And if it looks right, it generally is right, you know? So, but these type of changes, you won't have to do them a second time, they're just done now. And so there again, where I was, right, bank. And there's this guy. Mailings, yeah.
Oh, great.
So I just did that deliberately. So that's is that the bank account one? Let me just have a look at that one. I didn't. So these are payments you're putting through to different crowds. Okay, that's fine there. So I'm just going to come to all the QuickBooks is at the same kind of layout, right? So when it comes up, what I prefer to, and it'll learn itself, is business overview brings up a few graphs there. And even what we just see here at the top, you know, those items you bought in to sell, there as expenses, and there's sales happening there. If you know, we'll look at the numbers behind them in a minute. But straight away, it looks like you're making a profit in the last month, and if that's what you feel is happening, you know, it's there, and that would be on your phone on the app as well. What you see here would be kind of similar. The same with the graph below it. Okay, there's a sales level there at the moment. Here's a breakdown of expenses, and although there's a graph there, you can see it's breaking down into the different where the money is going, where the expenses are going. Okay, and then as regards who owes you money, and all you've done is enter in a few purchase bills and a few sales bills, and it's giving you all this picture. So if the picture looks right, it generally is right. Okay, and then the area I like to look at is here, where the bank accounts areas are listed, or bank account equivalent, and that might become apparent again if we need it. Sometimes things like credit card accounts I have in there as well. Okay. So, but that'll come up every time you turn on the QuickBooks for each of the companies as like a glimpse of what's happening. So if it's by just taking a second to look at that, it might tell you where you need to go and just have a second look at something, you know. So that's that one. A good thing to do, and this is a good opportunity before I kind of show around here, is to connect up the bank accounts, Dan, as well, because it begins to pre-populate, and as Ailish enters bills, it's looking for who did this money pay and who did this money come in from. So which bank are you with again?
AIB.
AIB. Yeah. So if we connect this one, I can have Ailish or yourself connect the other two later on after today, you know, but we'll see how this one goes anyway. So I've just clicked into the bank there, just to make sure everything's all right. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to try and connect it. And just remind me again, which is this year end? There's one of them is October. Is it Screenlink or is it?
No, MJ Hobans is October, right?
MJ Hobans, okay, that's correct. Are you IBB, Dan, do you recall, or are you?
Yeah, IBB with AIB. So.
AIB, okay. And so the bank control all this. So QuickBooks isn't going into your bank or anything. The bank every 24 hours later send over what came in and what went out. And if it sees a bill that it paid in the same name and amount, it'll match up the payment against the bill. Okay, so we'll have a crack at this.
So will that automatically do that, Kevin? Just so I know, like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it will. So when you come back in on a Monday, anything that's happened over the weekend will be there. And Tuesday will put in Mondays. So and I'll show you here as well, you kind of program it that when it sees certain things to put it into certain places. So the accounts are filling themselves up without you having to pump in what happened last month and all this type of thing, you know. So but we'll see now anyway. What's your IBB user, Dan?
You're adding AIB for Screenlink in, are you? So
yeah, just Screenlink at the moment. So
because we did. So Ailish has access to MJ Hoban and W Cinema, but not to Screenlink. But we'll add it in now. It's SCREE 644.
Okay, and your password?
Screenlink 123.
Is there a capital S or anything?
I do it by. You'll have to check. I don't think so.
Okay, Screenlink.
I'll have to get my DigiPass, right?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So I'm recording this anyway, Ailish, so you can do this with the other two.
Yeah, grand, I'll do that. Yeah,
and the main thing is to do it from when we're starting on QuickBooks. It's not fatal if you go back a year or two or anything.
965 666.
And how many bank accounts is Screenlink then?
In one current account, and then it has some deposit accounts elsewhere, like not an AIB.
Okay.
As a Sterling account as well, in AIB. So.
Okay, so let me see what we have here.
The deposit account should be empty. It's just those two accounts there. That's your main.
These two, okay. Okay, and is that your credit card for the company?
It's one-off. It's my personal one for the company, yeah.
Okay. Now, if you were doing company accounts, would that feature in it?
How do you mean, would it feature in it?
You know, when they say well, money in the bank. The only reason I'm asking is it worth putting it in here?
No, it doesn't need to be in.
Okay.
Because we have multiple company credit cards. I just happen to have mine in this for whatever reason.
Okay. We'll cover these two now. This will set up 2 for me. Just think now, do I? Okay, I'll go with it. So the bank is talking. They're going to talk to each other for a second, and I'll tell it to enter the transactions from January 1st, 22. Okay. Now, if I put in too much, so which accounts? I'll go both those. Okay, so Screenlink. There. Add new. So that's stuff in there. UK, AIB. Or what do you call the UK account? Just Screenlink UK, or do you have a name?
Yeah, I think whatever it was under the right. It's a sterling account. So.
Okay. Let's call it sterling. Sterling account. We can change anyway anytime, yeah. Currency. Okay. I'll change that one in a second. And this is the year. So I'm going to change that to 22. Now, if ever you get the dates wrong, you can go back. So 21, you're okay with on the desktop at the moment, aren't you, Ailish?
Yeah, we pretty much have everything. There's only a couple of invoices outstanding from last year.
Yeah.
That's what you mean, yeah?
Yeah, so we'll be just taking an opening balance here. So I'm just thinking of your changeover side of it. So, okay, this talks away for a minute, and it should put in whatever was in the account of January 1st this year.
Yeah.
And all the ins and outs, and it won't know any of them. It's like a newborn baby. So it'll just say uncategorized transactions and uncategorized expenses. The fact you have a good few bills in there and sales stuff is kind of handy because it might recognize 1 or 2 and I'm just looking how far it went back there. Was there that many transactions already this year? Well, let me just or did I put 21 in as well?
And the fact we don't put expenses in at the moment for this one, will that just kind of leave it sitting there unknown?
It kind of will, but not necessarily. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll show you what I mean as we get going on that. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, so I'm just going to change the name of that accounting and cash equivalents to the euro account. So these things I've got in the chart just to show you the chart of accounts here. Now I'm zipping around a little bit, so I just want to kind of put a few things into place. So that's the euro AIB account. Okay. I'll just show you what different things are then, just so you can kind of get your bearings. Okay, so just want to. Okay, so now all of a sudden, on the screen we have a bit more. So it's picked up already in the income and expenses you've pumped into it, Ailish, okay? I'll just jump over here. Now this is an important one. So always the bank account will be sitting there and it'll have what's actually in the bank account as of now, and then what we have in QuickBooks as of now. So,
okay.
So this is your bank reconciliation. So obviously if they're exactly the same, you're right up to date. And if there's a difference, well, these items here. So I'll just click into say the big one there, euro. Okay, this is effectively, these items are not yet put into your accounts, but these it's in the waiting room. It's never heard of Sophie Kyo or Martina Eaton before, and it doesn't know what it is. So once we program it and tell it what to do, it'll start going to where it should be. Okay. And then the next time it sees Sophie Kyo, is she an employee of yours, Dan?
Sorry, yeah, she is, yeah.
Are they wages? Okay, this is handy. So I'll show you kind of what and this will be some stuff you can work on afterwards, Ailish, then, okay? And we'll check in with you next week. So I'm gonna pick on Ryan Hoban there. Yeah, right. Sorry, was that your name? Ryan Hoban, yeah. So Is that wages as well, Ryan Hoban?
Yeah.
No, I'm just picking him as an example. So I'll just take his name here, Ryan Hoban. And I'm always afraid I'm not recording, but I am. Yes, okay. I've never heard of Ryan Hoban before. I'm going to add him. It's going to ask me what he is. I'm going to tell him he's an employee.
Okay.
Save that. Okay. And there's I put in wage expenses already, so I'm going to set up a place for Ryan Hoban. So it's a colon. We'll be doing some of this behind the scenes here anyway, Ailish, so don't think we're going to swamp you or anything.
Okay,
Just in case, new employees will come and go, and you'll be doing this anyway.
Yeah.
So I've made it. I put in Ryan Hoban again. It's jumped to this bank thing. Okay, so it's expense in this case. But again, if you go wrong, you'll cop it. The next part doesn't really matter. You know what classification is. So I'm going to make that a sub-account of wage expenses. Okay, so that's the boring bit done. Save and close. Now, there's a thing here, create a rule, and we'll be doing a bit of this, but just so you know what's going on. Now, there's no VAT on wages. So anything there's no VAT on, and you might get confused in it, but if you're just out of scope is what OOS means. So VAT is irrelevant to it, or no VAT is what if out of scope won't work, go with no VAT. I'm coming up to a question in a minute on the out of scope thing. So out of scope, if you're buying from the States or outside the EU, you would always use it. And if someone is a small little supplier and just isn't registered for VAT, just use the no VAT.
Okay.
It's really only relevant to the return of trading details form that'll come up later on. Okay.
Yeah.
But you might find one will work and the other one won't anyway. So that's how you'll go out. So I'm just going to go out of scope on this guy. Okay. So that's just sitting there. I still haven't pressed add. I'm just going to go to create a rule here. Part of our setup anyway. So Ryan, that's actually that him kind of saved. Ryan Hoban. So what this rule is, it'll suggest these to you, so you don't have to wreck your head. Anytime it sees money coming out of the bank account, I'll just put Ryan Hoban in once. It's going to put it into wages for Ryan Hoban, okay, and automatically put it through. So when I press this, hopefully it works. Yeah, I can see here 8 transactions have been added to the books, right? Now you didn't see anything really happen there, okay? So I'm just going to click back. And the thing about this dashboard is it's like getting lost in a hotel and going back down to reception to ask directions. This starts to get more and more familiar. So here now, all of a sudden, there's wage expenses there. You see that? That wasn't there a few minutes ago. And I'm going to click on this word, profit and loss. So you're looking at expenses. They've all gone up. You haven't really noticed it. It all happened so quick. But if I click into the word profit and loss there, just since the last month, and I've programmed this to collapse it. It's a nice, neat little profit and loss account. Okay.
Much better than QuickBooks 2010, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. This is all about making life easier. And I'll just go all there for a second. Yeah. So there's the name Ryan Hoban, who I never heard of before now. He's got, since I've come on anyway, he's got 3489. If you click into that to say, you know, did we pay him that much? You click in, it shows all the payments he got and the date he got them. He got 2 there on the 18th actually. So 2 there on the 25th. So, and he got 2 every time. That's, to me now, that seems unusual. Is there 2 Ryan Hobans, yeah?
Sorry? No, that's because we did overtime and stuff over Christmas.
Oh, yeah. But that's fine. So if except for you answered that, if I was an external auditor or something, I would say, what's going on here? There's a guy getting paid twice. And you've exactly answered it there. So next time it sees Ryan Hoban, it's going to put it straight into there, and for each of those employees, it'll start stacking up that we know what they're getting, you know. So it's very handy for interrogating how much we're spending on expenses like wages, telephone, you know, that type of thing. And this amount of the waiting room has dropped by those 8 transactions. Okay. So that's one thing to do after today. Ailish, right? And we'll check in with you. I'd say Monday or Tuesday. We know I'll have you book a Zoom, but there's 5 of us here. Oh, actually, I meant to do an intro. Sorry, I'll do that in a second. Sorry, I just want to introduce you to the other ones before I go. So that's that one. So anyway, I've just got a little excerpt there. So I'm just going to show you around this screen here now, because it all will be much easier on the next one then. When you're entering now, if you know any of this, just say straight off, we're fine with that. So there's 2 ways into everything you'll find. So this plus hides a lot of things, okay, but certainly for entering sales or people are paying, it's the invoice and receive payment approach, okay. And you won't really find much reason for the other ones below it. Maybe a credit note, you know what they are. So I'll click into those in a moment. Then a check is if you're paying a check or a check is also a direct debit. It's just paying people. So things like wages or loan repayments or items like that would be a check, something there isn't a bill, okay? But if there's a bill, you then can pay it, okay? So the approach all the time is keep the bills flying into it. And if you're paying them through the bank or their direct debits, the money coming out of the bank will look to match up with a bill. They'll say, oh, and it'll actually put the word match. It says, so is this money paying this bill? So if it's my bill for 500 or something, Kevin Barry, and they see Kevin Barry go out the bank, it'll actually put it against it. So you don't have to go allocating.
To attaching the bank then, isn't there really?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's some people are reluctant to attach the bank. It's the only way to go. Okay. It'll end up pre-filling. There'll always be the odd thing. It'll want you to kind of just look at it. There'll be different code on the bank coming through. It'll just pause it. So, but anyway, it just keeps, yeah. But the amount of work falls, and the accounts are pre-billing. So you're more looking. There should be no surprises with the accounts. It should be a matter of looking forward, you know. But if the bills are in there, you pay them, and I'll just click on bill here actually. So you're not seeing much there, but you see this little clock here on the left. It'll show you the most recent ones entered. I know Ailish has entered a few. There's little numbers there. So I'll just click on this big one you have. Okay, so that one, yeah, and you've the correct VAT rate there, good stuff. So when that bill comes up, we can see it's a bigger amount and the VAT is fine. If we have a scanned in, there'll be a scan of the bill here. Okay, I'll just click on that. So if I have it, might just have something, it won't be a bill. I'll just click on something I have here, tax guide. So when we scan in the bills, they'll actually be sitting there. So you don't have to go to your filing cabinet or anything like that and look for them. All right, that's that one. And say, so if you look at the bill here, it's 950,000 plus VAT. You click on it, it'll open up and the bill is there. And you're able to look at that from home, Dan. Ailish able, if she's working from home, to look at it. You know, you don't have to go back into the office or ask someone to dig it out. Or if for some reason you entered it wrong, you can just cross-check it and see what you did wrong and fix it. Okay.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's actually really handy to have that there.
It's great, yeah. And you probably have a shredder already. So just use, you know, we shred stuff every day, you know, that's what we're at. But it's dead handy, yeah. So, and I'm just showing you around here. So say that's bill has to be paid.
Yeah.
So instead of, or say there's a number of bills. So if you go into plus again and pay bills and have a crack at this, I reprimanded a lady yesterday about this. She was paying money over and then looking to tick off the bills, but there's 3 bills there to be paid. So say you want to pay the 3 of those, you click up here and it'll give you the figure here at the top. So you actually then, it's going to be a DD for money like that. I'll get rid of this afterwards, this payment. So the mark is paid on our screen. So I'm just going to come away from there a second. I'm going to click into expenses. So when you click in, it brings you into the numbers all the time. I'm going to click on those antigens, which was what we just paid. And when I bring up the bill, it's going to show me it's paid now. So it's just a reassurance. And then if that money actually went through the bank, there'll be a thing here at the left saying matched to online payments, right? Yeah. Now you can't see that yet, but you'll notice it when it comes up. But again, if Dan says to you, are you sure we paid that? well, then you click on this one here. It leads you back to that entry that I just did, ticking off the bills you're paying. Okay, everything is connected. So the bill comes in, it's owed to some guy. The money is paid off the bill. It's connected to the bank. You know, so if you put the wrong money against someone's bill, you're able to click on this little link and see, oh, it wasn't on Post Amsterdam, it was on Post Rotterdam or something. You know, so and just unmatch it and match it again. So that's that. Also, I'll just delete that little payment I did. But basically, the rule is get the bills in there, and then you'll find that the bank will be attempting to match them off anyway. What it won't match is something like I just did. So if say £1 million went out of the account and it's paying 5 bills, it won't be able to work out the 5 bills. It'll just say. So what you do is you put it against accounts payable. You gotta tick it off. But I'll show you that as you get into it, right? So there's a different type of. It's still really easy, but
and sometimes we'd have invoices that are like the same amounts, and if, say, for instance, the two we received a payment in and there was kind of no account linked to it, what will QuickBooks do then?
It would call it uncategorized income, and would ask you. Yeah. So if that money came in, and I'll just get rid of that. That's why it's in the account. So actually, these waiting room guys are out here. They're waiting to be told to go into the accounts, and once you click bank register, you're now in the account. So that's the bill I just did there, or the payment. So I'm just going to delete it. Bill payments. It's me. I'm just going to go down more and delete. Okay. Out of the way. Again, I'm just clicking dashboard to bring it back out again. It's just handy because you always kind of get your bearings around here. So yeah, I'll just come back out here again because that was a good question you asked. If money comes in and it's belonged to one of your customers, we'll say, and it doesn't put it against them because they're paying a couple of invoices that belong to you. Where you go is into receive payment.
Yeah.
We've sent the bills out, and all your customers, and I was looking at this already, be linked here. So is there someone who owes you money at the moment? Do you know, top of your head, Ailish?
If you type in one of the scanning centers, they're definitely open.
Okay.
Antigen, yeah.
So pick on that kind of list all the money they owe you. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll say they were paying those 2 invoices. Well, just watch this figure here on amount received. So maybe that amount came into the bank.
Yeah.
But it won't see an invoice here equal to that. It doesn't cop on that there's 2 of them together. So what you would basically do is either do what I did there, okay, those 2, and it's going to deposit it to the euro account. Now you haven't seen this yet, but you will, and just keep an eye on which account it's going into, whether it's the euro or the sterling. That's the only thing you got to think about. Okay. I'll just go save on that. Okay, so this area has picked up because we've now lodged a rake of money into it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go through the register, and what will happen is it'll say matched on this. You can't see this yet because we haven't actually come across it, but now it'll say, oh, you're after putting 1221 into this account. I've got that, and it'll say match, and you just tick it and it puts that waiting room money against that, and so we have that sorted. So as we kind of get you using it, and you make the little blunder, you know, you learn from them more so than me talking. So, but I suppose what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to have a crack at it, okay? Because there's nothing. The most that's going to happen is we'll move it around and show you, you know, that comes up, or if something comes up I've never encountered before, well, we'll deal with that when we see it, you know. So, but that money there would be offset against those sales invoices. On reports, which I'll come to now in a minute, down here, there's tons of reports. But these 3 highlighted, it will just list here who owes you money and how long.
Yeah. And
as the money is offset against bills, obviously it'll update those, you know. So, and we can set these to email to you once a week or once a month or things like that. Do you send out statements, Dan and Ailish?
Yeah, we do. I also was looking for the statements here and I was having difficulty. So if you could show me where I can find them, that'd be great.
Okay, I will. So let me just glance up here just before I leave it. Yeah, there's only one last thing to show you here before I leave. So the two main ones are invoice, receive payment, and if there's the odd credit note, that's fine. Entering bills and paying them, and a check is really for something that doesn't have a bill. Okay. Wages is the main thing. Just it doesn't have the word direct debit here, but a check and an expense are more or less the same thing. They're immediate payments or something without a bill. You're not doing timesheets, so I won't bore you with that. And a bank deposit in your case would really be money that's not customer related. So if it's customer related, it should be receiving payment for an invoice. But a bank deposit would be something like a VAT refund, or money you borrowed, or money you put into the account yourself, or something from the outside, or you sell off a car or something, you know, it would come in that way. And this is an important one, actually, transfer. Transfer is what you use for moving money between your own accounts. Okay, so if it's going from the euro to the sterling, that mightn't happen there, but it could, or it's going from cash into the bank. We don't have, there's no cash in this business, Dan, is there? You're on silent.
Yeah, no cash in Screenlink at all.
Okay, so that won't come in, but it might come in on one of your other companies, Ailish, all right? Ailish, sorry, I have a niece called Ailish. But if there's a business with a petty cash area, we'll have it here as well in your. I like to keep all the cash in people's face because they know where things are at then. So if Dan is away for a week and he comes back, he just glances at this and okay, we've got this in that bank, this in that bank, this in cash. You kind of know where things are at without having to ask too many. Like on that page alone, you'll kind of know if you're up to date. These items here about review, I haven't forgotten about your statement, by the way.
That's okay.
All that is saying all these items are in this waiting room here, waiting to be put somewhere. That's all that's signaling, you know.
Kevin, could we try one of the other companies then? Because I know that obviously Ailish is probably more up to date on those bank accounts. Would that be something we could do?
Yeah, it is. And let me just show her the statement first, though. So with invoicing here, Ailish, all right?
Yeah.
Customers. Click here. Okay, so all your customers are there. Let me just see what I've got here. Yeah. So say you want to send them all. Well, I'll pick on the ones with money here. This one.
Yeah.
Those two. Okay.
Is it fully up to date now, Screenlink? Is it in terms of the invoice balances or the customer balances?
Yeah, I've started to invoice only on this QuickBooks as opposed to our old one. Some of the balances from our old QuickBooks are carried over, but everything that you see on this online QuickBooks is up to date. So the old one that is no longer updated, like the new invoices you would have seen, are off this one.
So all the customers could get statements of the new one and they'd be accurate. Is that the case? Or?
Yeah, that it is correct, but I wouldn't do that because the balances that were brought over, I was explaining to you, the invoices were put together.
Oh, you know what you mean, but
So
the balances that were brought over, they're correct, are they? They
are, yeah. Okay. And I've sent statements from our old QuickBooks that are accurate, that reflect what they owe. So I don't think we should send statements right now. I'm kind of up to date on the credit control.
No, I don't want to send statements. I just want to make sure we've migrated correctly over to the new QuickBooks. So have we done that correctly?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I think we set up an account for bringing over the balances, and she entered those right. And there's one thing I'll check there for you because that's an important question you're asking between you. Is the download from the bank, in case any of that is customer money, that it's reflected against that January 1st balance you would have had, Ailish. So January 1st, you brought in those opening balances for January 2nd or 3rd or something.
Yeah.
So do you know when we downloaded the bank, if any of that was any of the income was customer money, it might need to be applied against one or two of these guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
That's one thing to watch. I'll just have a quick glance here and you'll know it as soon as I show it to you. But just to do a statement, if you tick at the top here, it'll highlight them all. But if you just want to do one or two, so I've done 3 there. So I just go batch actions, create statements, and it'll give me 3. You can't tell there's 3 options. So yeah, we entered all these in the last week or so, Dan. So there's the emails. So you need to have that. This one here, balance forward, is my preferred one, right? There's 3 types. So I'll just look at these dates here. Yes, that's the last month. And go preview, which is the bottom of the screen. So there's a nice statement now, actually. So 36,000 coming in, and the balance forward just shows at the start what was owing, and then it shows all the transactions that have happened since.
Yeah,
that's exactly what people want to see, I'd say, you know, and those guys are well up to date. And there's another nice one. Okay, and there's so.
Can we change the template to add the bank details in for both the Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland as well? Is that pretty easy?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's on the invoice already, is it? Did I enter it in?
Not on the invoice, no. I was looking for it as well. And it's obviously we just seen the statements, they're not there. So
okay, well, I'll show you how to enter it, and you can have a go at it, you know. And so if you were saying this, the other thing to think of is the message you're sending. Okay, so I'm gonna, it won't send them now, and I can go save and send. It's gonna get them ready to go. Okay. And but this wording here, your statement is attached, please remit. There might be something else you want to say. Okay, and I'll show you where that is now.
yeah, I was typing that out. I was changing it myself just on each one as well.
Yeah, it can, you know, can wear you out eventually, you know, saying dear Mickey or whatever, dear Mikey.
Yeah.
So where that is, I'm going to X that away from there now for a second. It's up in this area here to the right. Okay, so we've gone from this plus area. That there's a bit more. This is kind of where we would do a lot of our kind of development or programming work. And the one I want is custom form styles. And click on that. And you're kind of recognizing where you are now, where the sales invoice was done up and we added in the logo. Okay, and the place here, add your EFT details. So there now, see here, Screenlink Healthcare, please forward remittance, but push whatever, you know, please forward remittance advice. Please make all payments to Screenlink Limited, AIB, and have the IBAN there.
Grant.
And it'll sit out nicely there. Or you can also add it to the footer and make it as big a text. Go to font number 12. Okay.
Okay.
Brings in money. You're probably doing this with the old system anyway, but you know yourself, make it easy.
It's very hard to add stuff on the invoices with the old QuickBooks. It was kind of. Yeah,
but especially those small, you know, we have a lot of kind of corporate clients there that'll, you know, people who are paid to pay you. But the small bills can be harder to get the money in, you know, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, but that's where you do that. And see here, emails.
Yeah.
Okay. And click on that. And there's that wording we just looked at. We appreciate your business. So if you change it there, so they say dear, and this is one with the customers, dear, company name, first name, title. Play around with it yourself. And if you run aground, you know, we'll be checking in with you anyway. But that could be, we appreciate your business. Please find your invoice or statement details attached. Can you make payment? Our bank details are on the statement or invoice.
Okay, and is this specific to the statement? Just because obviously we have the north invoices go to a different bank account to the south. So is there a way we can differentiate between those?
Well, probably the handiest thing, that's a good point, is there may not be, no. So what I would say then is please find your invoice.
You say put both on maybe.
Yeah, statement details here. Bank account details are on the. I'm gonna froze me there. Yeah. Bank account details are visible on your invoice statement. Have a great day. So it's always going to be you, Ailish, is it?
It was.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to put your name here. Sorry, that's what I meant. Sorry.
So I'll be taking over the invoicing in about a month's time for a period of time, Kevin. So it's so I'm at the moment get up to speed on this whole thing. So. Yeah,
well, you find, you know, it's the more you know, the more everyone knows, the better, you know. So Ailish or Screenlink Limited, or Dan, you can have anything there. And sometimes a phone number is no harm. Any issues, please call. So I'll leave you guys to decide what you want to do there, or please email or whatever,
Yeah, that's
So,
good to know.
But at least you know where it is, and that's done now. Yeah. And if you need reminder emails, it's obviously there as well. So that's that. Okay. So I know we're going to jump over to one of the other ones. Let me just see, is there anything else here of note? Is there any question you have on Screenlink in particular, or will we?
No, everything was pretty straightforward actually with the invoices. Dan, when you create the invoices, I added all the email addresses that I had on my Excel sheet, so you can literally just email them from QuickBooks. It saves actually so much time. It's really, really handy.
That's what you're doing there, emailing direct from all the invoices direct from QuickBooks. Okay.
Yeah, and it says that they're opened and also that they're sent in a column.
Yeah.
Which is really handy.
Yeah. Very good.
Can we just get a snapshot, Kevin, of the money owed by customers by just going into like in the same way you used with the old one? So
yeah, so I've just touched the word reports there.
Yeah.
And these can be auto emailed. So accounts receivable aging summary. So I click on that. So that's all the names down there. Okay. Now, when you go into this report, there's loads of reports down there, but only a few of them will be important here. So if you put a green thing just touch it there, nothing seemed to happen, but that will be at the top here. So you're not going looking for it all the time,
Yeah.
And so pick the ones you like. And what we do sometimes, if you can design them. I did one for vets today, for instance, so we could design it that we knew what vet was billing what. So when we design it, we save it, it'll be here, and it gets emailed to the boss every week then. So you know who out there is doing the most work, So you might have something like that you might want to trick around with. So I'll show you an example, right? Profit and loss. And that's all you saw, but when I went up there, there's all this other stuff, okay? So it could be compared to the previous year or the year to date. These become more relevant, and I just click that and I go run report. It'll have a column of the year to date, which is the same because we're only a month, we're only just started, so.
Yeah.
So, and then when you do that, if you save it, I'll set up a new group here actually just for yourself, call it Dan. So, yeah, I have one for you, Ailish, as well. There might be just particular things you like to cross-check and a way you're happy doing it. So you can save, I'll save that one, profit and loss, into Ailish's group. And again, you're not noticing a lot, but I just come back to the report and I go into custom. There's a group for each of you and just particular reports that you like yourself.
Okay.
And if one of you is out and about a bit, they can be emailed to you once a month, once a day, once a week, so on, So,
yeah.
So do we do everything out of the accountant module then? We don't go into our personal accounts at all for QuickBooks for each company?
No, you don't. Yeah, you come through the accountant every time. It just saves having 3 separate logins.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah. So it just means, I think I ran into this with your Dan at Screenlink. You were in somewhere already. And
yeah, well, I've been unable to log in, so I have to contact QuickBooks, it says, because it doesn't give you, I don't have any sort of questions or anything saved, so I don't remember my password and I don't have any identifiers saved on the system, so I'll have to do that later. I'll have to try and contact them and get them to let me access it. But
yeah,
or can you do that? Do you know how?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I'll email them. There might be a day or two before they. I'll probably organize a call. And where you do that, just while I have you, I'll go back to the top here, back to practice. Because the things you're in accountancy practice, they'll try and sell you loads of licenses now. So
I just want to get logged in. So I assume that it was when we set it up, the first one for MJ Hoban online, that we must have used my email and a password. So maybe if I search through my email for QuickBooks, I might find an old password.
Yeah, you might. I might take you off these ones Dan, you're on
Oh,
Screenlink.
yeah, I have an account at Screenlink, accounts@screenlink.net. I have a password for that.
Okay.
Would that be the one?
That's the one I'm logged in under. So I think, oh God, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah.
For me as well, do you think?
Well, if you're under accounts, Ailish, if you move in devices, it'll keep sending one of you a text message to approve it, and it'll get annoying after a while. So you stick with accounts, Ailish.
Okay.
And we need, because otherwise, if Dan is logging in, it'll say this is a different device. Is this really you, Ailish, is thinking? And it'll text
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Ailish.
So Ailish is using that password. I just don't know what I have a separate email access, but I don't have a password associated with it. Would that be right?
That'd be right. And I'm just wondering if I go into Screenlink directly and just take you off there, in case it just thinks there's something weird here. You were on here before and now you're on here again. I'm just going to, this is stuff you would never have to do normally. I'm going to manage users. And if you're on here as a user, which I think you are.
You see, the old QuickBooks the desktop 2010 would have been set up to my email initially as well, potentially. So
okay, actually you're not in there on Screenlink. Have you another email, Dan? No? Is that your?
That's it. Yeah, a personal email, but I wouldn't use it for this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll contact them. I'm just thinking sometimes there's this thing about book a call. Let me just see if I can do it now. And they talk to you, and once it was a 30-seconder.
Yeah, because I'd like to get in and get set so I can start playing around with it, you know.
Exactly. Okay. So can I do a call?
Unless you want to set me up under my own name, Ailish.McEvoy, and we can let Dan log in with the accounts one. With that, we could try that maybe if it's not kind of.
We could. I'll try this one faster just while I have you both there. Dan Hoban. I just need your number. So Dan.Hoban at screenlink.ie, is it?
Screenlink.net.
Screenlink.net. Okay. What's your mobile, Dan?
It's 087.
Yeah.
929 4460.
Okay, these crowds sometimes call you like pretty quick, and basically you want to say, I'll tell you what to say, but basically I'm trying to log in and it's not giving me a password, and she might just press some button.
Okay, cool.
We'll see. You'll get a call in about 5 minutes, Dan.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's someone in South Africa, and they're pretty good. Yeah.
So they got rid of the Indian call center because they used to have that.
Well, I'm crossing my fingers. Another lady, Mary Jane, is in the Philippines. The typhoon before Christmas wiped her out for about 3 weeks. So we were like, Jesus, there was nothing happening. She must be the only one doing it. So that'll be handy. So just while we're waiting for that there for a second, I'm going to show, this is more for Ailish as well. But say you enter a load of things with the wrong VAT number, Ailish, right? And important for you, Dan, to know it can be done. Okay, with that, Screenlink here again. There's a thing up here hidden away, you barely see, accountant tools. And so basically, we get in things and people have claimed VAT on something they shouldn't have the entire year or something like that, So you click into accountant tools and there's one here, reclassify transactions. So when I click on that, and let's just say it was, I think of Hobans up there, say it was Palace Meats or something. And for some reason, 23% was claimed on it. You would just type in for the entire year, go right back, whatever, I go back to there, all year, supplier, whoever it was. Now there isn't a Palace Meats in this guy. So find them. Okay, it's, I've just said to all suppliers. And you tick that, and we want to reclassify. And basically change the VAT rate, either move it from, say it was put into repairs or something. So you want to move it to repairs, into meat, and change the VAT to 0. and it'll do the whole year in one fell swoop. Okay.
Oh,
It's handy when there's a mistake. The stuff is all in the wrong place. Okay. Okay, it's a real handy one. That accountant tools. Apart from that, just really journal entries, and I'll show you next week how to reconcile the bank, Ailish, right? So, and the reason I'm leaving it a week is we want to get some of the other stuff moving. Okay, so.
okay. And is there anything that I need to do there when you're saying get the other stuff moving, or is that what you guys are doing?
I'm going to get, we'll be doing some of it, but if you could have a go, do you remember when I programmed Kevin Hoban's wages that time?
Yeah.
Have a go at that. We'll see what you're doing here.
Okay.
Okay, and but basically you're going to tell the euro account firstly, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, all these people. Okay, each time it sees Laura O'Riordan, to put it under Laura O'Riordan's name as a sub account of wages, and then create the rule that will move the last 8 weeks in for her, and the same the next one. Now, if you don't have time for it, we'll just go and do it. Okay, and we'll keep an eye on all these, but we'll check in with you, say Tuesday, Wednesday. We won't leave it long into the week now.
Yeah, grand. Now I think I'll be able to do. Should we have the
Yeah.
Zoom so I can just kind of follow what you did?
Yeah, you can. So this training here is way more effective when you're having a go at it, and if you make a blunder or two, is even better. You know, so because you'll have known you're on dangerous ground. So so a quick look at money in for a second, just when you mentioned there about the statement. But this one here, Castle Forbes, is that a client of yours?
It's rental income.
Rental income. Okay, I'll leave that one. So just see, is there anyone there with any of the suppliers? There's, oh yeah, look at that. Okay, there's Galway Clinic. This is a perfect example. Okay. Okay, it's found a bill there on the 20th for 236 out of 37. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. And there's another one down here for the Beacon, 3506 that you've entered. So I'll just tick now. I can just click match if there's one of them, but if there's a load of them, you can just go, you can tick the two of them there and just go accept. And that's moved that money out of the waiting room into the accounts. And those sales bills are now not on that accounts receivable list you mentioned. We showed you a second ago. Let's keep going down a minute. See if there are any more. Okay, so there's one. There's probably a few bills in that. Do you reckon, Ailish? Yeah.
No, probably not. That could see. Is that for the scanning center? That could be the FICA.
It looks like the FICA.
It does look. I can't say off the top of my head, but it's potentially for the FICA invoice for one.
Okay, so I'll show you how you adjust those now. So FICA. So that's okay. That's, you're looking for a match, all right? So you pick that.
Okay.
That particular doesn't happen. Oh yeah.
The scanning center.
So I'm looking for the
The
scanning.
only thing is, it might have been a December invoice that's only recorded on the other QuickBooks.
Okay, so it'll be against the opening balance, so is it?
Potentially, I can have a look. Let me see if I can.
That one have a. Let's go through a changeover stage. There'll be a little bit more to that one. But you see what's going on there, Dan, anyway, do you?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it does all that. So the ones against the opening balances, I'll show you in a second what to do with those once she checks it out. So I'll leave those ones there with match for you to have a go at. Number 3. And this is up. Oh, that's the one we just were at, number 4.
Yeah, it's a December invoice for FICA that I don't think was carried over, maybe.
Okay, so I'll go back to that one. I'm just looking at the rest of them in case any more of them match. Okay, not so that was on number 3, I think. I'll find that 92.
So you would have just brought over the balance for the scanning center as one figure, so that's why I can't identify the individual invoices, right? Yeah.
That's exactly right. So I'll just have a quick look at that scanning center area that you just mentioned there. So I'll read it down here. So
the FICA.
that one, okay. But the opening balance isn't brought in, you reckon, Ailish, is it?
If you could, maybe if we look at their actual account, will we be able to see them what was carried over, or?
Yeah, there's nothing carried over on that one. It's just the 10th of January sales invoice in here.
Okay.
That's unusual in itself because there should be.
Let me just see. I'm gonna just check my email to you, Kevin, and see if it was on the report.
All right. Okay.
Seconds.
Of course, we could have put it in the wrong place as well. Let's pick this one.
Let me see. So I don't open invoices for euro.
And so when there's a changeover, if it's not exactly equal, we put it into accounts receivable, and there's a little bit of offsetting, but you'll only have to put up with that for this particular month, you know. So
okay,
yeah,
so what?
Just
sorry, go
on
ahead.
that side, yeah, it's just one of the things. Obviously, it's great to move forward with the functionality in QuickBooks, but I just want to make sure that whatever is being brought over is accurate, that we don't miss something, because we could miss it, because we have a lot of big invoices. So if we miss, say, for example, if that fit invoice didn't get carried forward and didn't get then paid, because we'd lose out on 100 grand payment. So
oh yeah, exactly.
That's my concern, because I haven't been part of that process of the migration. So
okay.
Okay, so I'm just looking here. We received the payment prior to when we sent over the details to you, so it wasn't actually open on the report.
okay.
There's there's nothing missed there. I think it was just it was paid, so it wasn't open, so it wasn't carried over. So I sent Kevin over a report down. I'll actually forward it on to you.
Yeah, no, I think just to give Kevin the background, Ailish never misses anything, Kevin, in terms of this sort of
right.
thing. But
You're very unusual in this game, Ailish, to not miss anything.
It's the IT side of it, in case something gets lost, and I want to make sure, obviously, in moving over, that we don't lose any of our invoices.
Yeah.
So let me just move over there. Yeah, I have a changeover folder here too. Just quick glance at the so that 92,000 came in around. So you gave me balances a bit further into January, was it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I can see it's marked as paid on the old QuickBooks. So that's obviously why it wasn't. And I'm looking at the report, and it wasn't open when I pulled that report.
So you just pulled the balance report on the old QuickBooks, did you?
Exactly, yeah. So anything that was open there, I just pulled the report and I sent it on to Kevin.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just the only.
So I'll show you what we need to do then, Ailish, right?
Yeah.
Go back to the 1st of January 2022.
Yeah.
And was that the total balance owing at that date? So do you reckon?
92,637 point. Yeah, that's exactly it, Kevin. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to, it's right in my head. I'm going to go to plus on an invoice, but don't fret. Okay.
Grand.
And scanning Fitbit, and I'll give you a new little account here. It's that one, isn't it? Yeah.
That one, yeah. It's invoice number 108 if you need it. Just that I see it's defaulted to an invoice number that won't be correct.
Oh yeah, okay. So for anyone that's just coming in on January 1st, if you need to have a look at them, is I set up an account here when we were doing this called opening balances from the desktop QuickBooks, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on that, okay, and do you up here is out of scope because they're invoiced in the previous period. So the VAT and all that type of stuff is in 2021. You'll see what I mean in a second.
Okay.
Do you have that number again? 92,000. Do you have it there handy?
1 second. 92,637 euro 39 cent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's sitting there as an opening on the. I'm going to watch my date here. Back to the 1st. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that service date. I know it's come up, and so you save and close that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to bring you through the sequence what I've done there. So I'll go to reports here again for a minute, just to show you. This accounts receivable as of today. I'll go down to the scanning Fitbit crowd. They're up to 136.
Yeah.
There's that 92,637 coming through.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But even though I've got that in as an invoice, 92,637. If you think, hang on a second, are we gonna? Because you sit bolt up in bed tonight, Dan, think, Jesus, were we going to pay tax on it twice? All right, it's not going to be taxed by being income tax. still not in the sales issue here for December. And if I bring it up for this month, and where's it at the top here? This month. I click on that million. You will not, as I pray, see the 92,000. No, you don't. So there's the first there. There's no one there. Okay, and where it's actually going to be up here again. Part of our opening balance changeover, and it'll be down the bottom in a place called opening balance. In where is it gone now? Just need to come over a day. Sorry.
You kind of lost me a bit here, Kevin. You're just yeah.
They both lost. What I'm doing is, even though I've entered as an invoice, it's not showing up as a sale. Okay.
Just we understand that invoice wasn't matched because it was already didn't port over. So I don't think and the invoices do match. So I don't think you need. What did you just create another invoice there just for purposes of
I did. That's it there. The 92,000. Okay. What I'm saying is it's not a sale in 2021 and 2022. If the sale happened in 21, okay, and we're just showing it as money owed to us in 22, and here's the money paying it. That's all.
Okay.
But just in case you were afraid sales that was paid twice or anything like that, okay?
Yeah. So do you need to delete that invoice you created then, or do you?
No, you don't. No, because I've just put in the opening balance there on January 1st.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
And
so you took it out of the opening balance. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the second thing for you to have a look at, Aileen, if you don't mind. Ailish, sorry. January 1st, whatever those clear balances were on the date you gave them to me, just roll them back to January 1st and see what was there.
Okay.
And just enter them as an opening balance on the desktop on the 1st. Okay.
Yeah.
If you get confused about that, if I've managed to confuse you, just drop me an email and I'll check in with you pretty quick. Okay.
So the invoice you created there with that payment that was received in, has that matched against that, so it's not open, or?
It should, yeah, it should now be matching. So I think it was on page 3. Yeah, it's matching now, yeah.
Okay. And obviously, because that was brought over as an opening balance, and you just created it with no VAT or anything on it because it was from last year, is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I entered the balances coming forward on whatever date was you gave us. So so there's money rolling in here during January, and if it was paying off a balance on January 1st, we just need to put in that January 1st for anyone that you didn't give me. Okay.
Right.
So there might be a few there. So
okay.
Okay, and so that's why I just said hang back on the statements till we cross-check this. So just as well there. So
Okay.
It's going fine here. Okay, that phone didn't ring yet, Dan?
No.
Sugar. Okay. Okay, and all right. I just want to grab one thing. Grab mine. So I'll do it here on my emails. Yeah, I just want to. Yeah, sorry, 1 second. If you can try. Yeah, how do I guess my list. One thing here before I forget, can you join the Zoom? So I guess a couple of them finished here. I'll look at my own staff in. 883 5605 5149. So just if I'm never not here, or sometimes I could be caught on a different Zoom, there's more than one person who may get back to you.
Okay.
A few of them. So okay. So is there any immediate questions on that? And we'll have a look at Hobans.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. So okay. That was an important exercise there. Now we just did. So Hoban think there's nothing in on Hoban yet, or there's only 1 or 2 payments yet. And but again, it's going to look the exact same. Now all this will be much more familiar to you. And as it populates up. And I just want to show you about the scanning for all of these 2 down as well in a second, okay? So there's an important thing I'm going to do here now in a second. So here again, we haven't connected the banks yet. So if you want to have a go at connecting the banks, because what happens for security-wise, the banks, Dan, just so you understand, is every 90 days it will detach from the bank.
Well, I have my DigiPass here, right? If you want me to try and connect up to.
Do you want to have a go at this, or do you want to have a go yourself?
Oh, sure, I can't. I can't access it actually.
Yeah, I can do it.
Well, let's Ailish have a go there for the crack. Because every 90 days it's going to detach, and the odd time it just detaches anyway. Either you click the wrong thing, or something happens in the bank and they just kick everybody out, and you're able to get back in again. Not a lot now, but it does happen. And
can you detach the bank on purpose? Like you just detach?
Yeah, you just go into banking here and list any bank accounts you have. So it's not showing you there, but there's a place there goes you just untick an arrow and says disable unsave. Okay.
Yep.
It's very visible now, it's not hidden away. So did you want to try and match them up, Ailish, or will I do it?
No, I can try. So will I just try on my own screen here, obviously, yeah?
Yeah, try there, yeah, and we'll.
Okay, so MJ Hoban, is that what account you're in?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me just get rid of that.
Okay, while you're doing that.
Can you just show me where I begin?
Okay.
Please.
So you click on banking on the left-hand side.
Okay, I'm just gonna, because I can't obviously see the 2 screens at the same time. Okay, so banking, yeah.
And it'll bring up a thing there about connect account.
Okay.
So you click on that.
And then do I just click the top left AIB?
Is it IBB again, Danya?
Yeah.
AIB. Yeah, the top left AIB. Yeah.
Sign into account. Is that right? Yeah. Continue. Yeah. Okay.
Continue there, and it'll ask you for your details in a moment.
Okay, so it's just saying consent for connection for 90 days. Agree.
It's going to ask you from what date, and you put down custom and put 1st the 1st 22.
Okay,
or,
let me do that.
Sorry, 1st the 11th 21. Apologies.
Okay.
And so I've people who've 30 years on at least in each of you doing this. So the odd time it won't work. It's AIB seems to be really good. Bank of Ireland, the odd time something goes on. Yeah. And I was just looking at an invoice there. Settings. The thing that's coming up here the odd time. Let me see service there. Okay, that's off.
Have the balances for MJ Hoban come over as well, or?
I don't think so.
I'm just logging in now, so hopefully that.
We brought over suppliers.
Oh, suppliers, yeah, because we don't really track the revenues, but we can start doing it now that we have some.
Yeah.
Based on the tutorial so far, I think it's worth doing it.
Oh, definitely, and I was set up for this because your chart of accounts I got it off Ailish there a couple of weeks ago, and I've followed the same format. And the only thing I was going to ask you about was like there's catering sales, bar sales, food sales.
So we use a Casio system, which is the point of sale system, which tracks all that information. So I'm wondering, does that integrate with QuickBooks, or do you know?
I don't know offhand. It may, but if not, I'll give you a very easy way to keep track of it in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a very good software. You literally get the tills live, like on the transactions, like real time on it.
Okay, it would be great if it integrates. Whoever deals with Casio, I'll check anyway because
I can just, if you put the 2 into Google, it'll say whether they do or not. I'd say
they all say they do, but sometimes they don't. So if it doesn't, what I'm going to do is I'll ask the head of QuickBooks to contact them. And anyway, he's great at getting things done like that for us. So.
Kevin, I haven't got permission. I guess it must be from Dan's, is it? Because you would just kind of, whenever I'm putting the details in, it just says that I haven't got the required permissions to log the bank account.
And who's setting that, AIB or BOI or QuickBooks?
It's just coming up at the end when I try to log in at the end of the AIB.
Is it? Okay.
Will I try again, or do you think, is that a normal thing to happen?
I've never seen that one before. I'm just going to check your permissions on this. Your top level permission here.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'll try one more time.
Yeah.
Might just be something I'm doing wrong.
I just forgot to send off the email as well.
Mm-hmm. 108. Okay, so you do not have the correct permissions to proceed. Please contact your local administrator or IBB customer support.
Okay, that's an AIB thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you might have to ring customer service and just ask them to give you third-party access. Okay.
Third-party access.
I haven't seen that. It didn't happen on the other one there. So
you want to try my one, because I'd be the admin on the bank accounts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be the problem.
Yeah. So you ready?
Is it me? It's Ailish talking to, is it? Yeah.
I just try, if you want to, so okay, to put in my IBB into your.
Oh yeah. Okay. 2 seconds. Sorry, Dan. I'll just go ahead and proceed with this. Okay. So your IBB user ID.
Westp. Oh, sorry. MJH.
MJH.
Hang on, I have to remember this one again as well.
I'm the same.
Yeah, you know, I'll just have to kind of put it on the screen here to remember it.
Yeah.
The MJH 708.
MJH 708 and password.
Westport 1.
Westport 1. Is that a capital W or just lower?
And just see this if it works. If not, we'll just do
Grand. Okay, and then the passcode.
It's 296.
296.
179.
179. Invalid log, so it must be in capital. So you said it's MJH.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll actually have it written down somewhere. You can work away on something else, Kevin. Did you want for a second?
Okay.
Yeah, that's grand. Yeah, I'm just doing a thing here for your sales. You'll be able to see on the video now what I was doing. Ailish. Is VAT 9% or 13.5% on food at the moment? 9, is it?
No, not on food. No, for what type of food?
You know, food in a bar.
To sell.
Yeah.
Just have a look here. Hold on.
That's all right. It's okay. I'm dealing with it always in the past, so
yeah.
I'm just putting in VAT rates here for you.
Grant, thanks.
I can't remember. Perhaps it's gone up all right. I just
I don't see the sales. They're on the Casio system. I'd only literally put on the invoices. So say for purchasing the food in.
Oh yeah.
I have that information now, Ailish. You want to try it again?
Yeah, 2 seconds. Okay, so MJH 708.
HLB 708.
Yeah.
And then Westport 1.
And the Westport is the capital W?
No, normal. Westport 1.
Westport 1. And then your passcode.
145.
45.
067.
067.
If that doesn't work, we'll leave it.
No, it actually didn't work. Is that for
Yeah, do you know, leave it for now, Ed. I'll
leave it for now, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've been focusing so hard on the training, I kind of mixing up my numbers. So.
Okay, no
Yeah,
worries.
grand. A few little, housekeepings we'll get on top of.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to bring in two of my team here. I just want you to meet them. We do this to everybody. It's just so if ever you're talking to people, face the names, and they'll head off again. So, and I'm just setting up your sales there on MJ Hobans. Yeah, Lisa, hiya.
Hi.
Yeah.
So I just want to introduce you to Dan Hoban and Ailish McEvoy, who are from the Hoban family business. QuickBooks, you've noticed, is setting up. So they're in the 30-day, they're well in the 30-day period, but they're really only getting going now. And so if ever a support call or anything comes in and I'm unavailable, you may have to step in, but just to say hello, that's all.
Yeah. Hi, how you doing?
They're a bit blown away at the moment, all the techie stuff, but they're not that blown away anyway. They're flying it. So, yeah, it's so user friendly. All right, it's great. So anyway, Annette's German, but don't hold that against her. And Lisa is from here, becoming more German every day of the week from hanging around with Annette. So anyway, it's a good trait. Yeah. So
It is.
all right, okay, girls. Just wanted to introduce you in case you come across these two in your travels. Okay.
Good
Thanks
to
very
meet
much.
you.
Nice
You
to meet
too.
you.
Bye
Yeah,
bye.
thanks. Bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, so there's two more girls as well, but they're finished this stage. So
Grand, no worries.
I see Dan on the phone there.
That must be
So,
QuickBook.
oh, is it? That'd be great.
Oh, potentially. I don't know. That was the guess.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great if it was.
Yeah.
Which one did Dan say, Ailish, that he was on about the scanning for? Was it MJ Hobans or was it Screenlink? Remember at the start of this call?
It was for Screenlink because all of the invoices, so all of our expenses, we don't put them on for Screenlink, but if we can scan them up for Screenlink, I think that's potentially what he's it would be helpful to do, because then you get a more accurate picture, obviously, of the expenses versus the sales.
Oh, exactly. Okay, well, just while he's on the phone, so I'll go through this with yourself. So under banking is this place called receipts, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going to set this up for you. So we'll call it, so you see this at QBO Docs. So I'm going to call this Screenlink.
Okay.
I'm going to do this to start. So Screenlink at qbodocs.com. So that's, I was looking and say looks good. So any purchase invoices that come in for Screenlink, okay, if you forward them to that email address,
Purchase invoices, yeah.
you'll always find it under, I mean, if you go into the banking and click on receipt, it'll be sitting there for you, okay, if ever you forget it. If you forward it to that, they'll land in down here. And now you'll find at the start, you have to tell it what, a bit like the bank, what different things are for, but then it'll begin to know it the next time. Okay. And it'll publish up into accounts payable, and then the bank will look to match up payments automatically and so on. Okay. And for bills that aren't paid, they'll remember this thing I mentioned to you about pay bills. If the bill is in, it'll start listing in bills we have to pay, and you'll be able to tick them off and all that side of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where. So I've that one set up. Now same way I just set that up there on Screenlink, we could also set up on Hobans and on the cinema if need be. So it's that quick, you know. So but that's your forwarding email, or if you already have purchase bills there beside you, or you can just, if you scan them and drag them in there, they'll start listing down here. Or if they're already on emails, either forward them to that or just drag them in, whatever's convenient, whatever, you know, you'll know yourself what suits.
And I don't know whether this is a silly question. Does it literally just upload the image, or does it input the data into QuickBooks?
I'm trying to remember that one now. That it's initially it'll only do the image, but it'll begin to learn the data, right? But that's what this will do. Okay. The other program that we use, once I see the volume you have, is the one called Dext.
Yeah, you were chatting to us about this before. And didn't you say QuickBooks had a similar thing, just not as slick? That's this thing, is it?
That's it. Yeah, that's this.
Okay.
So we'll see how this
doesn't
is
upload.
Yeah. This might be, you might find this as won't upload, and you'll find yourself having to do a bit of bookkeeping down here, such as apply the VAT rate. You know, that. But at least it's in here.
Yeah.
You'll 50% further ahead. The other one will, like, even if it's a handwritten invoice, it'll look at it, it'll work out the supplier, the date, the VAT rate. We'll have told it next time you see this, put it into a certain category. It'll always put it in there. It'll split between VAT rates. It'll do a lot more, a lot quicker. You can photograph with the app on your phone. You can do that with this though as well. That's why I was asking about the phone app. So so if Dan buys diesel or something and he puts it against Screenlink, he can just photograph it on the phone app and it'll land in here for you,
Okay, that's handy, yeah.
Stuff like that. But we'll use this for now, and if you feel it's not strong enough, I can get you using the other one and see what you make. The other one is one I use myself. It's magnificent, And if you're a busy business, lots of bills flying around from all sides, that's the way to go. Okay. And let me set it up for you, because I've got the UK version, because the Irish version they sell through Sage or someone is rubbish. They don't even sell it in England. It's a real low. It's just the same as this. You end up doing all the bookkeeping. Like, it doesn't do any programming. So
all right then.
you feel on the UK one, which is where it's the only way to be. Yeah. So, and it's not. I can't remember the price, but the money is not going to frighten you. It's tiny. So things like that. So I'll just go back to MJ Hoban a sec. I just noticed the time there now. I've got to go to my optician at 4. so but I think we were due to finish at 3:30. But I'm not worried about the time. All right. But do you have any immediate questions for me, or will I kind of point out the most important things for you here?
No, I have a question on printing a remittance advice, which I'm sure is going to be very straightforward, but I couldn't find it. If you could just show me that. I'm just looking at my notes here because I had a few questions. And so I think the last question is just the remittance advice. Yeah, if you can just show me that at the end, that's fine. But far away on the rest there then.
But give me an example. Is it for MJ Hoban, the remittance advice?
MJ Hobans, yeah. So if I pay bills, like, so I'll pay the bills for MJ Hobans and Westport, and obviously once those bills are paid, I just send on a remittance to the guys who manage the cinema and the pub, and then Dan also, and the supplier.
Which I think have I see? Oh, there is a way. Yeah, it's I'm thinking of the desktop. Yeah, that is on the desktop.
Yeah.
Let's see, is that on the bill? I might have to look at a different QuickBooks.
There's like a transaction report, so that's fine for Dan, and Christoph is the guy who manages the businesses in Mayo. But if I want to send an individual remittance advice to a company from the old QuickBooks, I can just literally click on a payment date and download a remittance advice.
Just see expenses. I just went back to Screenlink because I had a few of them that had done payments for.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just see here. So you do make payments. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so handy. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So just when you're doing the make payment, you tick it on there. It is. Yeah.
Super.
You can download and email that. So that's that one. Yeah. Yeah. I was lucky now. I hadn't been asked that question before.
And is that invoice now closed, or because it's obviously still open? We haven't paid it yet.
It's still open at the moment, but it's not closed yet. But once you're making the payment, it'll close off. Yeah.
So it says there at the top, 0 bills are open.
Screenlink Limited, MJ Hoban family, and
we haven't. There should be one bill
Westport
open.
Cineplex Limited.
Okay, now that might have been, because I was thinking there earlier, I put through a payment.
Yeah, there's actually.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to accept an invitation there from the third party reseller, but I was unable to because it said that that I had they wouldn't give me a password. I don't have my password, so I couldn't log in.
But these are guys. This is the dud one I put through earlier. Remember this one?
Yeah, so that should be open. We haven't paid that.
Yeah. So it's okay.
One more.
I'll just keep it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't forgotten that one.
There is another one that I don't see open there.
Okay, let's have a look. So I'm just going to this top left.
And
It's okay.
not that one. It's a bill. It's those two bills there. Those two that you're on post fit.
Oh yeah, the twin. This one
I
here.
double check. So 1764 should be open. So up one.
Yeah. So that'll be open. So this bill.
No,
paid,
not that one. That's closed. Oh, there are two. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So they
no, I
should be
paid off-
open.
yeah, I paid off the two. Just remember I was saying, if a payment of 2390 comes in, it's looking for that or that.
Yeah.
But if you put through the payment first, when the payment goes out of the bank account, it'll match up. Yeah.
Grand. So yes, so they're just the open. There should be just two open invoices as far as I'm aware. Is that right? Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
That's it there. Yeah. So.
grand.
All right, I'll just come back to MJ Hoban for a second. So when you do connect the bank, I think we had this chat initially. There's an awful lot comes in by contactless, doesn't it?
So sorry, say that again, Kevin.
A lot comes in by contactless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll put is it Bank of Ireland or AIB up there?
AIB as well for all accounts.
And who are the credit card? Is there a credit card crew?
Well, the cards are with AIB as well.
AIB cards, okay.
Statements are from AIB, yeah.
So now it won't be on your online banking, I don't think, but so I'm just going to change this one. There's not another place to connect the bank. There's always two places to do everything.
Okay.
So if you see something, why didn't I show you? It's just I'm picking the ones that kind of keep us around the dashboard. That's what I tend to do, right?
Yeah.
AIB business account. Okay, so that will be there. I'll just go save a new. And AIB credit card clearing account. So what you're going to find is this is what goes on at the moment. So if the till will say is 10,000 quid in it after the Saturday, there might be 10,000 on the Z read, but only 4,000 actually in the till and 6,000 in on cards. And the 6,000, you know this, I know, comes in a day or two later.
Yeah.
So the way we'll set up the invoices is it'd be like that, to say our sales were 10,000, but only 2,000 is here, say, in our cash, or 4,000 here in our cash, but the other 6,000 has gone into this AIB credit card clearing account. Then as the transfers come over, we'll see this come down to zero. Yeah, less their charges and that. But that'll make more sense. Oh yeah, you weren't really keeping the sales in this. It'll make more sense when we get going on it, okay? So.
Yeah, if we can link those, the Casio accounts, what Dan mentioned earlier, that's essentially all the sales and.
That'd be the handiest, yeah. And really, apart from that, it's the same scene again. You enter the bills, and you might as well try the bills on the dragging system here as well, you know, because it becomes second nature. So I'll set up this one called MJ Hoban.
And I just literally forward
to that, yeah.
Okay, I have a couple of bills. I'll give it a go on Monday. I have a couple of bills, and then I can try and see what it looks like. You know yourself, in order to learn, you kind of have to do it yourself.
You do, yeah, exactly.
But I'll do that.
If the bills are going in there, and then you're connecting the bank account when the third-party access comes through, the money going out is looking for those bills, and the matching up will start to happen. And then we'll see the wages going out, and we'll get the programming going, and it'll all be coming together pretty. It'll be it's this again type thing, there'll be no surprise here. And those graphs will start to populate. And again, depending on what you're hearing, things are going well, not going well, these will start to reflect. It is January, but then it's Westport in the thick of it as well. So yeah, so that's really all I need to show you on Hobans really at the moment, because it's Groundhog Day now.
Yeah,
and then same thing, and then Westport, we'll just click over there. Now set up your sales categories the same as what you had.
Yeah, grand, yeah.
So there's only one thing I didn't do here. So I don't think he was tracking sales on this.
Same thing. We don't track the sales on. Well, we haven't been, but I think Dan would like to do that. So if we can link the things again, the systems, that would be very handy to have a vision of that dashboard.
Okay. And you see here where it says chart of account. Do you see these items here on the right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing that we had at the start. You know, where you set it up with the wrong category.
Okay, grand. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not trying to make work for you, Ailish. I know you're not stuck for work, but I'm just going to leave it there for you to have a go at fixing. And if you can't do it, we'll step in. Okay.
Okay. And I just see there's something there that says film hire. Can you
Yeah.
just click into that? I'm just interested to see what it is.
Yeah. So I saw this on the other category. So they're bills, I expect, that are in there. There they are.
Okay.
They're bills for hiring.
And there, I set those accounts up, did I?
You can, and watch this bit of miracle now. If I go into, just in case you're wondering who did something, or I am, I've just brought up the bill itself.
Yeah.
I go into more, and when you see audit history, it'll just tell you who did stuff. So your name is up there in lights.
Grand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's you who did that on January 25th. So it's just handy if you're interrogating something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
To say, you know, what went on there, I don't understand. You know, so I'm just fix it up.
Perfect. It's good to be able to kind of backtrack. So it's the same way as then you showed me with the sales for Screenlink. You literally go in and edit the account, and then that will kind of take them out of the bank account section. Is that right?
Exactly, yeah. So you go into this accounting chart of accounts. There's film hire, which is an expense in this case, or a cost of goods sold, whichever you fancy. It's an expense in your old chart of accounts anyway. Okay, so I was looking at this stuff before I come on, but I didn't want to go fix the stuff up without explaining it to you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I understand. It's better for me to know.
Exactly. So
Okay,
your account type.
Sorry, I just tried. That was Intuit, and they can't. If I have a 5-year-old login, that they can't. They're trying to sort it, but they for some reason it won't send me a reset password. So I told her to call me back in 10 minutes because I was missing all this. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I think we're at the end of our time anyway, Dan.
Yeah. Okay.
We've enough done, and I've recorded this. And Ailish I was showing how on the scanning of the bills coming in.
Yeah.
So it'd be no harm if I recorded this, so you haven't missed anything. Okay. So if you just, I'm going to send you a link. This will process through in a couple of hours for me. I'll send you a YouTube, both of you, a YouTube link later this evening, and you'll be able to just go straight up and just see what you missed. But you didn't actually miss anything. I was saying to Ailish that it's kind of Groundhog Day. We went to the next one. And I've got the sales kind of ready to go in now, and Westport link, you know, but really I'm getting her to scan in some of the bills so she sees how it operates, and the bills go in. And then when you connect your bank and you yourself, if they get you to enter, and you can download your app as well, and a lot of what you're looking at on that app will be very familiar to you at this stage.
Okay.
Cool.
So,
that's grand.
There's a good bit there, so I'll drop you an email tomorrow too, Ailish. I know you won't be looking at it, but just book a Zoom with us the next Monday. If Dan, you want to come onto it, that's fine. If not, it'll be recorded anyway, and that'll be a 15. Well, it'll be as long as you want it to be, but it'll be, we'll say 15 minutes. You won't tie up too long, and let you back at it again. You know.
Yeah, well, that's grand. I can do that. I'll work on those few things that you mentioned, and then sure I'll catch up with you next week.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin. Okay.
Yeah, I think the main priority for you, Dan, is to get your login. Okay.
It's a starting point. Yeah, I'm kind of a bit concerned now with where we're at with it, but I think it's if I get the login and I get to play around with it, I'm pretty good at these types of systems. I just haven't. I've missed a lot of what went on now because of that, but I think I've got the general gist of it. And
okay, but don't. I mean, listen, you've got us. You know, Christmas is in the way there. So you've got us the next month anyway, so don't worry about it. You know, we'll start the month now. Even though we've been at stuff, I'm not too concerned. We're just waiting to get you away with it. And but I'm very happy with how it's looking, and you know, I've been obviously dealing with Ailish a bit already. So it's all about doing your own business, work on it now, and it'll come together. Then I'll show you the last thing. The last thing we'll be showing you is the bank reconciliation, which makes you very comfortable with that. Everything that's in your bank account in and out is reflected in QuickBooks. You know, so.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Okay. Cheers, Ailish.
And see you guys.
Okay.
Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
See you soon. Bye now.
Bye bye.